So it's time for the third mission of the Autobot campaign, or the 8th mission in the game total if you're playing it in order. So apparently Zeta Prime died, how sad. And now Optimus has finally gotten the title he deserves of Optimus Prime. So now we can finally refer to him as the name we've been referring to him for the last 30 years almost. Anyway, we have this mission is called To the Core. We have a selection of 3 other characters. We have Optimus as usual, and we have Ironhide and Warpath, which this is the first time we're able to play as those 3 characters, and this is the only mission in the game we get to play as Warpath. And it's kind of odd that they would choose Warpath of all characters for this game, but since he's a very underused character in Transformers in general. But the reason that they did that is so they could have an Autobot tank character to be the Soldier class in the multiplayer. So, yeah, that's pretty much the only Autobot tank character you have, really, in Generation 1. So, playing as Optimus, although I decided to go for this mission. So, we're going to be forced to have his signature Ion Blaster at all times because he's the Autobot leader character, and much like Megatron of the Decepticons, we can't drop our primary signature weapon. But the other weapon, it's a pretty good weapon though. It's pretty powerful, especially at short range, but it's not quite as good at range as the neutron assault rifle as far as automatic weapons go. But it has a faster rate of fire, but it also runs out of ammo a lot faster, so, you know, it's alright. But then I decided to go pick up the double barrel EMP shotgun back there. So the first encounter we're going to have is a couple of scouts and soldiers that are going to come out of, or mainly just scouts actually, that are going to come out of this room over here. Now, despite the fact that I chose Optimus for this mission, I mainly just decided I needed to have one mission in the game where I played as him all the way through. But my recommendation for this mission is actually to go with Warpath, believe it or not. Despite how I was bragging about earlier in the game about being able to play as Ironhide, I really don't recommend him at all for this part. The reason that I recommend Warpath, I'll get to that in a minute. But over in this area we have a couple more scouts and some soldiers over there, and I am very quickly running out of ammo trying to hit this guy with bursts from afar with the Ion Blaster. See, I'm already out of ammo. I should have used our truck mode's rockets from the very beginning. So yeah, Optimus is a leader class character, so obviously he has rockets in his vehicle mode. So I'm going to try to sneak up on these guys and hit them with the EMP shotgun. Now Optimus's abilities are the dash ability. I think he's the only leader character in the game that has the dash ability. But his other ability is unique to him, and it's he's the only character in the game that has it, but it's the double bam, as Warpath would say. I got those guys with one shot each. But yeah, the ability's called, it's not called double bam, it's called War Cry, which is a buff that you can release that will increase the damage and the damage resistance of you and all the other characters in the vicinity of it that it hits, or all of your allies at least that are in the vicinity of it. So that's one of the uses of the leader class in multiplayer, is to buff the characters around them and make them more powerful, and that's what makes them so devastating sometimes in large groups. So if we walk over here to these overshields, like Optimus says, they were a trap, so EMP grenades will be deployed, and now we'll have some cloakers to fight. They were waiting for us, it seems. But if we can find them, Optimus's Ion Blaster just utterly destroys them with its rate of fire. The only difficult part is actually finding them. But the safer way to go would be with his rockets in his vehicle mode, of course, as you can see right here. The splash damage will allow you to find out where they are a lot easier, much like earlier in the game when I was playing as Soundwave. There's some EMP grenades over here. Now there's an achievement in this game for disabling an enemy with an EMP grenade, then killing them with the ram ability in truck mode. And as you can see, I did it right there, but like the typical tradition of the game glitching out on you when you're recording, I went right through the guy. Sigh. Oh well, I got that achievement eventually though. I had actually not had the achievement at the time I recorded this, so that would have been really cool if I had gotten the achievement while I was recording, but oh well. Like I said, the game has to glitch because it knows you're recording. And whenever we, there's several there's several times in this mission where we're going to come across doors that are locked like that, and I do typically like to melee the locks off instead of shooting them, but that's just me being overly ammo conservative. So in this room we're going to have a couple more soldiers, getting them down as usual. So we don't have any precision weapons this time around, or at least not for the time being. We're kind of going with the old barbaric spray and pray and close quarters nonsense. Not that that's unlike Optimus at all. So when we come into this area, we're going to have two different places we need to go to. We can go to them in any order we want. We have to go to both sides of this area and release good old Omega Supreme from his bindings. And now we can rescue him from the clutches of the Decepticons and get him to help us get to the core. There's a couple of Rocketeer scouts over here. That's the guys with the rockets on their shoulders. And they're gonna blow open that wall when we come over to it. Okay, so we got to the first one, and we're gonna release his right arm, and he's going to use it to utterly destroy all the Decepticons in this area. Well, almost all of them anyway. So now we're gonna have a couple more cloakers that'll come out of complete nowhere as usual. And then we must go to the other side. Only a couple more scouts in this area. Having a hard time hitting him with the melee. I was a little bit worried about that one guy with rockets up there because I didn't have any long-range weapons. He kept hitting me from around that corner. What I decided to do is I'll demonstrate the war cry here and show you what that does. He basically just jumps up into the air and starts glowing, and now all of our weapons do more damage and we take less damage from enemy fire. It is a really, really good ability. But I still recommend playing as Warpath for this mission, and like I said, I will explain why. I mean, for anything, this is the only time in the game where you get to play as him, so why not? But anyway, in this room there's a Energon repair ray. Just thought I would show that off. I'm never going to use it, but whatever. There actually is a good use for it if you wanted to pick it up, but I'm not going to. And I'll explain what that is as well here in a minute. A couple more soldiers that come out right here. For some reason I was having a hard time hitting them with the shotgun, so I figured I'd use the EMP grenades and keep them sitting still. Alright, so Omega Supreme is free, but very weak, so we must give him a hand here dealing with these Decepticons, because that's what we do best. As you probably already figured out, or if you're going to figure out soon, there is an obnoxious amount of Rocketeer scouts in this mission. Like, they are all over the damn place. My EMP grenade did absolutely nothing there. So you're going to get that missile inbound thing almost constantly. There's some more ammo down here, and there's some frag grenades, so we're going to go ahead and pick those up. Alright, so after we've dealt with all of these guys, then we're gonna page Ratchet to come and help out Omega Supreme here. I'm just looking for the last of the guys, wherever they are. There might be some up here on this bridge. Let me go up there and find out. I believe there's a weapon over there. I'm not sure what it was. It was in a crate. I didn't bother to break it open. And I go up here and the guy just jumps right back down there. But while we're up here, I want to go ahead and grab this turret. Wrong button. Accidentally threw a grenade. But, yeah, we definitely want to pick up this turret after we've dealt with those guys, so we don't have to go up there and get that later. We're going to have a short amount of time, now that we've paged Ratchet, to go ahead and secure the area so we can defend against the onslaught of Decepticons that's incoming. Back here, behind this area, there's 3 overshields and a Energon repair sentry back there that we can activate. I'm going to activate a little bit later, though. And we'll have these beacons guiding us to a couple of other Energon repair sentries, so we're going to go ahead and activate those. They'll probably get destroyed pretty quickly, but they do help out a lot, so, you know, why not? And we also can access these rooms that have weapons in them nearby. I'll show those off here in a second, but right now we're just going to use the turret. So now we have a wave of scouts coming in, and we're going to annihilate them with our turrety awesomeness. So now I'm gonna. Oh, I guess I'll explain why I would rather you play as Warpath in this mission. Now that Ratchet has arrived to help us out with Omega Supreme here, so he's gonna start repairing him, and we're gonna have to cover Ratchet. Is what's going on here. So the reason I would recommend you play as Warpath is Warpath has the force field ability similar to how Ratchet himself has, and a lot of the medic characters have. And the force field ability, it will. We can deploy that if Ratchet gets incapacitated, which can happen sometimes if he takes too much damage, then we're gonna have to manually revive him. So if that happens, we're gonna be taking a lot of damage. And there's several times where I actually died while test playing this, playing as Ironhide, because I couldn't keep myself alive while trying to revive him. So I highly recommend playing as Warpath so you can deploy the force field and revive him safely. Ideally, you would not want him to get incapacitated, so if you wanted to get that Energon repair right earlier, then by all means go ahead and pick it up. But we're basically just going to be holding out here in a sort of escalation style, just defend the area sort of thing. We're mainly just defending the Ratchet sort of thing. But we're going to go and get some more weapons and prepare for the next wave. I'm going to ditch this EMP shotgun, although it's been really good to us. Over here we got some a different variety of grenades, whatever it is to your liking. I'm gonna get some thermo mines for now because they're for one of my favorite type of grenade, and I'm gonna need them coming up here. Gonna go back here and get another overshield and activate this repair sentry just in case we need it later. But if you had Energon healing grenades, those would also be nice for protecting Ratchet. But over here on this side there's going to be some more weapons, a magma frag launcher, thermo rocket launcher, and pistol. So I'm going to go and get the rocket launcher and drop my EMP shotgun for that. I couldn't drop my ion blaster if I wanted to. So and it's good to pick up all the Energon from the fallen enemies, because you definitely want to recharge your war cry, because that's going to be very useful against some of the tougher enemies that are going to show up here. So this next wave is going to be similar to the last one, just a lot of Rocketeer scouts and a couple of snipers up here as well. But what's making it a little bit trickier is well, there's a lot more of them for one, and two, there's going to be some brutes with turrets coming in afterwards. So those heavy weapons guys are going to be the tricky part. But that's why I picked up the thermo mines. And Ratchet will give you a frequent warning whenever he's under attack. He'll say he's being shot to pieces, or it's hard to work when he's getting shot, or something like that. Go ahead and use the war cry here and gun these guys down. I was hoping for a little bit more of them that I could gun down with it so I didn't waste it. But, you know, whatever. And pay attention to the flashing signs over the doorways to see which direction the enemies are spawning from. You should get a little notice telling you which direction they're going to come from. So you shouldn't be caught completely off guard. Really, for the most part, this section is pretty much the same regardless of who you're playing as. It's just for that one reason only, because this is the hardest part of the mission by far. That's why I recommend you play as Warpath, just because you can protect Ratchet better. God, these Rocketeer scouts. So annoying. Anyway, now we got that brute to deal with finally. So let's go flank him and see if we can drop some thermo mines on him. There's a lot of random pillars around here that don't really make good cover, but they do make a good opportunity to flank enemies and go around them where they can't see you. Like here with the thermo mines. Alright, so we used all those. Now I guess you can go ahead and get whatever kind of grenade you want. Gun this guy down and collect his turret, and then that'll be the end of this wave, and we can go back and get another overshield and prepare for the next wave.
There'll be more coming.
Right here is a dispenser of nuclear shock cannon if you want that as well. That'll be nice.